What if you could set up a robot mower that never needs a single piece of boundary wire, maps your entire garden on its own, and then connects to your smart home so it only mows when the weather is actually good? That's exactly what we are doing today with the Mammotion Luba 3 AWD. And I want to show you not just the unboxing and setup, but also whether this thing can actually become part of your smart home ecosystem, because that's what we are all about here at A Smarter House. Now, there was one thing about the smart home integration that genuinely surprised me, so stay with me. But first, a little confession time, and then we need to get this thing up and running. In the last few years, we have not just gotten deep into smart home devices and other cool tech, we have also become what you might call a full-on lawn dad. You know the type. Sacrificing weekends, top dressing, fertilizer all summer, skipping vacations. Because you need to be home to cut the lawn. And dropping to our knees every time we spot a tiny weed. So these days we basically have two lawns. One is the showroom lawn, the one that gets more love and attention for 6 or 7 months of the year than probably the rest of the family combined. And then we have the rougher one, the forest edge lawn, the outskirt lawn, the one that has a much more relaxed relationship with perfection. And that is exactly why this mower is so interesting for us. We need something that can handle both. Let's start with what is in the box and what you are actually dealing with. The Luba 3 AWD comes in 3 sizes, the 1500, the 3000, and the 5000, covering lawns from 1500 up to 5000 square meters. All 3 models share the same core tech, 360-degree LiDAR, which stands for light detection and ranging, basically laser-based mapping paired with dual 1080p cameras and AI vision, and satellite positioning for centimeter-level accuracy. Mammotion calls this combination Tri-Fusion, and it is the first robot mower on the market to bring all 3 of those systems together in one package. If you buy the European version, like we got here, what you actually get in the box is pretty straightforward. You get the mower itself, the charging station with its rain cover and ground stakes, a power supply, a set of extra blades, 2 small orange security keys, a cleaning brush, and a dual-bit screwdriver, Phillips on one end and hex on the other. No RTK pole, no separate reference station to mount in the garden. The centimeter level positioning in Europe is handled over the mobile network, so there is no extra hardware for you to install. The first physical step is assembling the front bumper. Pull the plug from the front, connect it to the bumper, press the side buttons to lock it in, and then screw in the 2 screws with the Phillips end of the screwdriver. That part takes about 2 minutes. Next, you need to mount the 2 orange sidebars or side bumpers, and this is where you want to be a bit careful. You have to flip the mower on its head, but do not just drop it onto the floor. Use the polystyrene from the box as a support, so the LiDAR dome on top is not taking any weight, and you do not scratch or damage it. With the mower resting safely on the foam, clip on the orange side bumpers and tighten their screws using the hex end of the screwdriver. Step 3 is to insert one of those small orange parts into the back of the mower. This is the security key. Push it firmly into the slot until it is fully seated, because the mower will not run without it, and keep the spare key somewhere safe. Flip the mower back onto its wheels, and that is the robot fully assembled. Now the charging station is next, and there is one thing here people consistently get wrong. You need at least 1 meter of completely clear, flat ground directly in front of the docking port. The robot needs a clean, unobstructed run to dock itself, so do not tuck the station into a corner or against a wall. Connect the power supply, plug it into a standard outlet, and you are set. When you place the Luba on the station correctly, it will actually say "Start charging" out loud, and the red side LEDs will flash to confirm. So now comes the part where most people spend the most time. Mapping. Open the Mammotion app, select your mower, and tap Create a Map, then Start Mapping. You will get a pre-mapping checklist, clear debris, no kids or animals on the lawn. Then you have 2 choices, manual mapping or auto mapping. With manual mapping, you use a virtual joystick in the app to drive the mower around the perimeter of your lawn. It is like driving an RC car, but you are also drawing your map in real time. Once you have completed the loop back to the starting point, you tap Save, and the area fills in green on screen. We use this for the outskirt lawn, where we have a lot of non-defined edges. Auto mapping is newer and genuinely clever. The mower vision camera detects the physical boundary of your lawn, and the robot autonomously traces it. This works best on lawns with a clear visual edge, like a border between grass and paving. If the camera loses the boundary at any point, you can switch back to manual mid-session to fill in the gaps. This worked perfectly on our showroom lawn, and the app gives you a live 3D map as you drive the perimeter, which makes the whole thing feel a lot more advanced than a normal robot mower setup. Now here is where the real setup work happens, and this is where the Luba 3 genuinely stands out from budget robot mowers. After your base area is mapped, you can add no-go zones, areas you want the mower to avoid entirely, like flower beds or a trampoline. You can add virtual fences, no-stop zones for areas with low obstacles the camera might flag incorrectly, and channels, which are narrow path corridors that connect separate mowing areas. Like we have here, from the showroom lawn to the outskirt lawn. The app supports up to 100 smart zones, and that path spacing, mowing angle, and cutting patterns can be adjusted, so zone management is definitely advanced. That is a lot of flexibility if you have a complex garden layout, like we have here. Once your zones are set, you move into task settings. You set the cutting height anywhere from 25 to 70 millimeters, the forward drive speed, and the line spacing, which controls how tightly the mowing passes overlap. Then you either select specific zones to mow or just let it work through all of them. Now what about that brand new DropMow feature? This is actually unique to the Luba 3. Normally with a robot mower, every area needs to be fully mapped first. DropMow means you can physically carry the Luba 3 to a completely separate area, say a back corner of the garden that is not mapped, drop it in the middle of the grass, and it will start mowing a zigzag pattern on its own, using the LiDAR and cameras to navigate the space. It will not save that area to the map, so it is not ideal for complex zones, but for a simple standalone patch of lawn, it works exactly as you would hope. So let's talk about the hardware itself for a moment, because first impressions matter. The all-wheel drive system here is not just a marketing claim. Each of the 4 wheels has its own independent hub motor inside, no moving parts on the axle, which also makes it easier to service. The front wheels are omnidirectional, meaning the mower can turn by varying rear wheel speeds, which gives it an almost fluid movement on the lawn. The rated slope capability is 80% gradient, that is 38.6 degrees, and as you can see here, it handles steep terrain, holes, and uneven ground without getting stuck. For reference, most people would struggle to walk up a 38-degree slope. The obstacle detection is powered by a 10 TOPS AI chip, 10 trillion operations per second, running the dual 1080p cameras and processing the LiDAR data simultaneously. It recognizes over 300 types of obstacles, including pets and children's toys, in both bright light and low light conditions. There is also a smart cliff shield that prevents the mower from going over steps or ledges, which is pretty important if your garden has any level changes. Now, the part I actually want to dig into, and the question that I know a lot of you have already been thinking about, is whether the Luba 3 can properly integrate into a smart home setup, or whether it is stuck inside its own app forever. And the honest answer has 2 layers. The first layer is the built-in voice control. The Luba 3 connects natively to both Amazon and Google Home. In the Mammotion app, you go to the Me page, tap your preferred voice assistant, and link your account. Once it is linked, you can say things like "Ask Luba to start mowing the backyard" or "Ask Luba to go home," and it works. You do need to have created a named task in the app first. It cannot figure out zone names from voice commands alone, but once that is done, the integration is solid and reliable. The second layer is where things get genuinely interesting for smart home enthusiasts. Now, I want to be honest about the Home Assistant part. We have not tested that setup ourselves yet. We do know there is a community route for it, and that is something we want to dig into properly. So for this video, we are just covering what is officially supported and what looks promising on paper. Then we will try to get our hands on a Home Assistant setup and include the real testing in the next video. That way, we can show you what actually works instead of just guessing. But there is a community-built integration for Home Assistant, the open-source smart home platform, available through the Home Assistant community store. You add the custom repository from GitHub, install it, restart Home Assistant, and the Luba shows up as a full lawn mower entity with sensors. We are talking battery level, mowing status, GPS position, satellite count, working area, all exposed as live data inside Home Assistant. And once it is in Home Assistant, the mower stops being locked inside an app silo. You can build a weather-aware automation that checks your local forecast and automatically sends the mower back to base if rain is coming, no manual input required. You can pause mowing automatically if a gate sensor opens, or if a camera detects someone in the garden. People in the home assistant community have built fully automated weather-aware schedulers that track mowing history per zone, delay automatically when precipitation hits a threshold, and auto-reschedule when conditions improve, all without any manual intervention. There is one setup tip here you should not skip. Create a second dedicated Mammotion account for Home Assistant. Share your mower to that second account and use those credentials in the integration. If you use your main account, Home Assistant will keep logging out of your phone app, and that gets frustrating fast. So where does that leave us after the first few days? Setup is genuinely straightforward for a wire-free system at this level. The mapping process is super easy, even if your garden is complex, and the app guides you through it clearly, and the results are precise. The hardware clearly means business, the AWD system, the tri-fusion navigation, the AI obstacle detection shows that this is not a toy. And the smart home integration options are real and practical, both through the native voice assistant support and the Home Assistant community integration. What I have not answered yet is how it actually performs over weeks of real mowing, how the maps hold up, whether the obstacle detection causes unnecessary stops, what the battery life actually looks like in the field, and how the cutting quality holds up after a few weeks. That is what the follow-up video is for. We just need the weather to get a bit warmer so the grass will start growing. And we will be running this thing for a couple of weeks and coming back with the full experience report. If you want to catch that when it drops, hit subscribe so you do not miss it. Check out the Luba 3 AWD for your own garden. We have put all the links down in the description. You will find one for the EU store, one for the US, and dedicated links for Denmark and Sweden. So if you are curious about the current prices, local availability, or which model makes the most sense for your lawn, have a look there after this video. And if you are already running a Mammotion mower in your smart home setup, drop a comment below. I would genuinely love to know what automations you have built. Until next time, keep it smart, keep it simple, and keep it affordable.